Okay, I want to say hello everybody, hi and welcome. I didn't imagine I'd be making this video, but it's about one of my old movies. So just a moment ago I was checking my comments. I sometimes check my comments, as I say, and get a nice surprise, and I got a surprise comment from one of my viewers. Okay, his name is on YouTube, that goes by the name of Swayze Train. Maybe Swazzy Train, I don't know, I guess it's Swayze Train. S-W-A-Z-Z-Z-Z, okay, Y-Y, Train, okay, Swazzy Train or Swayze Train. Anyway, when I first got the comment, I was kind of dubious again. I was thinking maybe it's like one of these negative ones. I really don't know. And you're entitled to be positive or negative, I mean, because not everybody will like what I do. But what you did say is you did say you're very much curious, and thanks in advance, and you've asked me some questions. So Swayze Train, just for you, I'm going to answer your questions, okay? Okay, everybody, I don't know how many of you have seen any of my little short movies that I've made over the years, especially in the recent years, and it was around a couple of years ago now, about one and a half to like 2 years, almost maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago, that I made a short sci-fi movie by myself. Like a lot of my movies I make by myself, but I made this movie by myself, and it's called The Skully Zone. Okay, The Skully Zone. And it's like a sci-fi type action short movie, okay? And it's not my favourite. I've done other movies, as I say. I've done other short horror movies. I've done other things with blue screen background and stuff, similar in a similar way. But this one, The Skully Zone, I put in a lot of work, I must say. Another one was another sci-fi one. I forgot the name of it now. The Looney Planet. The Looney Planet. That was another one I made. The Looney Planet. But yeah, so the Skully Zone was a one-off thing, but I did put quite a lot of effort into it. I put a lot of hours in, and a lot of effort into that short movie. It was like around, I think, 16, 17 minutes long. A lot of my movies are usually pretty short, but then again, there was like an action scene that dragged on. Excuse me, you know, some of my shows have been known to do that, where they drag on a little bit, but it was good fun. So let's have a look. Okay, so Swayze Train says, "Hey, I randomly stumbled upon this video, and I'm genuinely curious as to what the fuck it is." I don't blame you there, okay, because it confuses a lot. It would confuse me as well. And you've said why, how, and when it was made. So basically, okay, so let me just cover those points there before we continue. Yeah, Swayze Train, thank you very much for your comment, and everybody who's watching. So yeah, The Skully Zone is just a sci-fi movie, short movie, inspired by a lot of things that I grew up watching in the 1980s and the 1990s. I was born in 1982, and I love a lot of the movies from the 80s and some stuff from the 90s, even stuff from the 70s and before that. But you'll notice that there's a lot of you may or may not notice, but like, first of all of the music and all the effects and everything I did myself. I'll cover that in a moment. But you'll notice that there's a lot of music in it, which is like 80s synthesizer type sounding music, because I make a lot of my own music too on the computer, so I like to give it that kind of a feel. Also, you'll notice that there's all kinds of stuff in there going on. It's dark, sci-fi type stuff. It's basically a movie about where the planet has been overrun by aliens, these alien creatures, or whatever they are, these monstrous things. I imagine them to be some kind of aliens or some kind of dark creatures that come from another realm or something. and they've come to attack Earth, and they've come to just wipe out all the humans and eat them and everything. So you'll see that it's like they're taking over the world. It's like chaos. It's a futuristic world. It's like somewhere in the future. You'll see influences from all kinds of stuff. There's martial arts in it. That's because in my real life I've trained so much martial arts in my life. All my life I've been training martial arts, different kinds of martial arts, and teaching. Just my bit humbly, I'm not great or anything, but I teach what I know, and I've always been a martial artist. So I've grown up watching a lot of different things, like a lot of kung fu movies. I'm a fan of sci-fi. I'm a fan of martial arts, action, you name it. I like a lot of comedy, so I grew up watching all kinds of stuff. South Park, Simpsons, even just comedy. Like there's some comedy in there too. It's kind of supposed to be like fun. It's not supposed to be taken so seriously. There's a lot of comedy bits and pieces. The effects weren't amazing. They're kind of cheaply done, very simple. I'm just me. I just do this in my free time, just using different softwares. I'm very, very artistic. I'm not saying I'm a great artist, but I love to create and I love to use technology. I love to be creative, so I love to do art. I love drawing and painting digitally on my computer, creating animation. I love editing short movies up. I like to work with 3D effects and animation too, 3D modeling. I like a lot of stuff. I write my own scripts and stories and books. I make my own music. I have a lot of passion and a lot of things I like to do. So I'm a mixture of many things. I do martial arts. I write and act and stuff in my own movies, little short videos. I'm a deep philosopher. I'm a lot of things, alright? Not saying I'm great, but I have a lot of passion in life and I love life. I see it from many different angles. Anyway, so yeah, you're asking like why it was made. There's no reason at all. It was just some good fun. I've always got a lot of passion in me to create all kinds of short movies and stuff, and animation and all kinds of stuff. So it was just some fun. That's all. That's the only reason. Okay. You're saying how? Okay, you wondered how it was made. Well, obviously, I filmed everything in that particular movie at home. There were certain shots which were in the opening intro clips. You'll see certain scenery, like scenery of natural surroundings or like urban city scenes and stuff. A lot of that stuff was free to use, like Creative Commons stuff online, like a royalty-free footage and stuff that I found, and I added it in. The titles for the movie, like the opening titles, the words and everything, coming on and all that, and the and again, the credits, the opening credits and the end credits were done in various video editing softwares. I use a lot of different video editing softwares, but I forgot the name of the one that I actually used for those credits. Now I'm very, very sorry. I don't think it was Vegas Pro. It may have been Sony Vegas. It may have been another one. But it's good. There was another one I had before. I forgot the name of it now, but it was another one. But yeah, I might use a lot of different softwares. When it was made, as I say, about a year and a half to 2 years ago. I made the movie at home. Most of the scenes you will see, there's a lot of scenes where I use blue screen background, and there's a few scenes where it's actual just real live footage, just cut up different clips. I filmed it, used my tripod. It was all filmed on my phone. It's not the best quality, but it's alright, yeah. Okay, my own stuff. A lot of things I can tell you actually. I mean, the props and stuff, like the gun, even that. Wow, man, yeah, that gun, man. That model, I had the shades on, and the gun was made from like pieces of, not even cardboard, pieces of polystyrene, taped together and wrapped up with black plastic bags because I didn't have any black paper or anything, and to make it look like a gun. There were various video effects and things put on top from in various video editing softwares, and colour effects to give it certain looks. Like sometimes you see it looks very red and black, sort of thing. if you'll bear with me 1 second, guys, if you just hold on 1 second, because it's a bit noisy. I want to tell people to quieten down in there. Hold on. Sorry guys, yeah, that fucking noise is way too loud in the other room. Sorry about that, yeah. Can you hear me now? Okay, what I was saying basically was, yeah, so I speak my fucking mind as I say sorry. But going back to what I was saying, yeah, so basically, it was made, you know, like that. Okay, it was made with a lot of effects, and then some blue screen background effects. You know, blue screen, green screen, chroma key stuff. There's various softwares out there now. A lot of free softwares, video editing softwares, where you can add a lot of different effects and titles and blue screen, green screen stuff into. I do have my own blue screen thing, like what do you call it? Blue screen that you can hang up. It's really good. I got one because I knew I would want to be doing these kind of short movies for fun and stuff, you know. But yeah, so they were done like that. Okay, yeah, some scenes were just put together, like of me at home, just as well in like real footage as well. So any effects you see, I use various video softwares. Before I move on, I'll tell you some of those video editing softwares I have. I have Vegas Pro, Sony Vegas, Shotcut, other ones like I do have Windows Movie Maker for like basic stuff. Now I use a thing called Olive, which is very good, a basic thing. There are other ones like VSDC Free Video Editor and other ones, but there was another one I was using before. I can't remember the name of it. There's another one I use which is very good, very good effects wise, and it's called Hit Film Express, and I use that a lot for a lot of scenes in that. Okay, Hit Film Effects. So Hit Film Express, the free version, and it's very good. Okay, yeah, a lot of the art and certain things like the character. There's certain characters in there where the head, like there was this bald-headed guy who ends up getting killed by the Scullys. Him and I believe the other character too, who was the face talking on the computer screens, talking to him, this robotic computer screen character too. These were done, as far as I remember, by using a thing called Face Gen Modeler, where you can literally use photos to you know, make a 3D head of that. It was really cool stuff, and you can just use the stuff they got in there to make 3D heads. So I used a random photo and I changed it a bit and I made it into some 3D model. The mouth talking, that was basically done with like a mask. I filmed myself talking, just moving my mouth randomly. You may or may not have realised this. It may have been talking out of timing, or it may have been in timing. I can't remember now. But I filmed myself up talking, and I cut around the mouth area like a mask. You know, I just put it in over that and blended it in, blurred it, and feathered it so it looked, and changed the colour and the saturation and the brightness so that it merged with the 3D head and on the right angle as well. Those heads. I'd seen it been done in other old shows and stuff that I've watched in the past, and comedy shows and things like the Adam and Joe show a long time ago, and other shows which used to do things like that. So I remembered that. You know, it's a quick way of doing things. Not the best, but there it works. You know, as such. Yeah. Animation. Yeah, for that animation, I just did frame clips, just images, put them in a sequence. Put them in a sequence. The images, so the head turned like that. Used various animation tricks and stuff, using things. I think I may have used Anime Studio to get some of the movement of the arms moving, the hands when the Skully was climbing up on the building. Other animation and stuff was actually just done in Hit Film Express when it was coming up, you know, from the window, you know, and the glowing eyes and all the different stuff, you know. Again, the smoke and the mist, I do believe that was also done in Hit Film Express. It was amazing stuff, you know. So a lot of stuff, man. Lightning bolts and all the rest of it, and the blurring, the motion blur, and all the bits of scenery that I put together, which was bits and pieces, kind of like matte painting, but not painting, like different parts of scenery that was cut out from different photos and put together, and I had the camera moving through that and moving around that to give it more depth, a bit like motion comics, you know, which you can do in Hit Film Express. Is a good software for that stuff. So I did that, you know. Again, gun like sounds and stuff I got from different websites, and the same for the explosion effect, the visual explosions and the gunfire and stuff. The visual, and that was also, they was put in, again, sort of green screen, blue screen, sort of chroma key stuff put in place, moving around and stuff. I just filmed myself up pointing the gun in different angles and stuff, and doing fighting moves and stuff, you know, and I put the explosions and gunfire in where needed. They just came from a thing called Production Crate, a website called Production Crate, which has a lot of free stuff in there you can use. I think even some of the smoke and mist I might have got from that too. I can't remember now. Yeah, such. I had a lot of fun making the movie. Let me just check what you're saying here. You asked me. There's so much here to unpack. I know you're right. I mean, there's a lot to unpack. I mean, there's so much I could go over here too. If there's anything else I forget, you can ask me again. I think I used. Some people use ZBrush. I used Sculptress, I think. I'm pretty sure, to manipulate and change the heads of the 3D figures, the 3D the 3D Skully heads. They were all the same. I just made copies of them and stuff, you know. Some were done with like images of them taken and then edited, but some of the 3D movement, they were actually just edited and sculpted to make them look like aliens. There was actually human heads at first, but I just changed them and changed the colours and a few things, you know. And I just bring them in and put them on top of bodies and switch the heads around. I did that in Poser. So a lot of softwares we use, you see. Poser with Poser Pro 2014 software. You can use the free software like Daz. For the scenery, okay. Okay, guys, yeah, you're going to have to bear with me, okay, because I'm actually eating now. While I'm talking to you, I'm eating, okay. I'm just eating, okay, while I'm talking to you. But yeah, basically the scenery, the way I made the scenery, okay, was like this. The scenery was made like I used for like some of the scenery, like the main scene when he's like shooting up all the the baddies, all the Scullys, and it's in 3D. I used SketchUp for that, you know, SketchUp. It's a 3D modeling software. I just literally made it in SketchUp. Literally made the area where he goes. I put a few fences in and stuff, you know. And I put the video. I'm so hungry, man. Sorry, man. I'm just so hungry. But I put the video footage of me, like blue screen, green screen, whatever the fuck, blue screen chroma key on top of that. You know, just for fun. Just to put it on. And I did that in Hit Film Express. The reason being, Hit Film 4, it was Hit Film 4 Express. The reason being is because it's so great, because you've got all these different effects and stuff you can put in on top of it to blend the colours nicely and all of that too. To make it feel like it's really more in the scene, you know. Because some softwares you can just put change the background, but it doesn't really feel like it's still there. You're really in the scene, sort of thing, you know. But again, I mean, it doesn't look that great anyway in my video. It's really rough. The way the movie's made, it was really rough anyway, I know. but you know, it just adds to the fun. Other scenes were done with I've forgotten now, I really seriously have forgotten if I used Unreal Engine 4 or if I used Neo Axis. Neo Axis if 3D, if you've ever heard of it. It's good, I like it. I know people will say that it's nothing compared to Unreal Engine, but I think it's good for doing some simple stuff. And like when I'm walking through the tunnels and stuff, and some of the scenery was made in that, because it's like nice and easy to do. And it's a bit more detailed than SketchUp, you know. So I can have lights on and stuff like that, you know. But I never really learned, you know, Unreal Engine too well, or the older one, UDK. I never learned Blender before. Right now you can see on my channel I'm learning how to use Blender. I'm doing a lot of stuff in Blender. The new Blender as well, I mean. But yeah, you know, so it's good, you know. I'm really happy with the way the show turned out. I'm so hungry, man. I'm so sorry, gotta eat, man. Now, you said there's so much to unpack. Yeah, you don't even know how to ask. Okay, Swayze Train, so you've got another question here. You said, what is a Skully? What? Well, it's just an alien monster thing. That's what it is. Nothing to it. Nothing at all. Some crazy shit from my mad mental imagination. Now you've said, why were you beating the dude at the end? Well, I just kind of left it a bit of a puzzle there. But the thing is, like, he's a clone of me. Well, he looks like... Is he a clone of me? We don't know what the backstory is. Am I a clone? Is he a clone? Or whatever, but... I've got the shades on. I'm on with the shades. Is he the same guy? Whatever. Yeah. I'm very, very sorry. I'm so sorry. The camera just cut out there. I had to start again. Okay, the camera... I had to start the video again there. Sorry. The fight at the end where I'm beating up the other guy, beating the guy. He's obviously a baddie. And the main thing you should know or understand is that he's in charge of it all. He's the culprit. He's what do you call it? He's the cause of all of this shit. Basically, he's the one who allowed this to happen. All of these Scullys to come and take over the world. So he's the boss now. So you know that's what it is basically. This is now. Now, your next question says this: what unholy program were the effects made in? I'm very much curious. You say. Well, as I say, there's a lot of different softwares there, and I don't know what you mean by unholy, like because they're so shit, yeah, because they're so terrible. The effects, yeah. I don't care if you're insulting me or if you're just joking about it or if you mean they look okay, they look cool. It doesn't matter what you're saying. Yeah, I know they do look a bit. They're not supposed to look amazing, you know. Obviously. So, yeah. Look, man, you either liked it or you didn't. You know, if you didn't like it, don't worry about it. You know, I'm not gonna. What can I do? You know, but I was just being a crazy bastard, having some fun, right? Look, the thing with me is, okay, I'd rather mess around. I'd rather have fun playing around like that in my free time than just growing old, talking about money like most people do. They just go to work, go home, go to work, go home. I'll grow up, man. No, that kind of attitude. They just grow old, die. That's all they do. Most people just grow old. They sit there. Some people sit there playing computer games. Okay, that's good. Okay, escape. But I like to create. You know, I've got an imagination. But I don't always do short movies like that. I do sometimes, but I prefer to do art and animation and stuff like that, you know. But I hope that's answered a few questions. Okay, inspirations for the movie, that particular one, as I say, just a lot of inspiration from all kinds of stuff, like even Total Recall. If you've ever seen the movie from the 1990s, I believe, 80s, 90s, whatever, Arnold Schwarzenegger with a dark sci-fi type stuff and the robotic AI like stuff talking to him and stuff like the screens, you know, and a bit of comedy in it. So I was inspired by that. It was just something totally just random on the spot. There was nothing much to it. But I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll leave the link in the comments below, in the description below this video, so anybody can easily find that movie again. Swayze Train, I want to say thank you for your comment, whether it was supposed to be positive or negative or whatever. I hope that's explained a few things and covered a few things for you there, okay? I hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, don't worry about it. Thanks a lot.